morning from the Trans-Canada Highway in Newfoundland. This is a big day for us. Sue's first proposed this somewhat extreme idea, riding across Canada, and Ben suggested we ride to St. John's, Newfoundland. Well, in my mind I was thinking, okay, this first part of the journey from Toronto to St. John's, this will tell us how crazy the rest of the idea is. You know, can we do it? How do we feel after all those days on the road? Is it reasonable to think we could do this across Canada? Well, today's the day we're going to get to St. John's. So, well, we feel good. I think we feel fine. We're going to have, we have a little reward Airbnb waiting for us at St. John's. Some live music. We're going to go out and see a hot tub, a bigger place. And right now, after what we've experienced, it's just been fantastic. And so we look forward to continuing this, going across Canada. Yeah, everything's great. So a good day. See what unfolds. So we're now about 30K outside of St. John's. We've come back to some more of this alien landscape. We also felt a massive thermocline. It's going to be a lot cooler in St. John's. We've got the Atlantic Ocean. There she be. St. John's. Alright, so what are we doing now, babe?
We are going downhill.
Going downhill.
We're on our way to a live music off the beaten path event.
Yep, St. John's, Newfoundland. Oh, part of our celebration for being here is a night, Thursday night out. We bought into this little package where they're going to take us to off the beat musical
Off the beaten path.
Off the beaten path. Sounds like a good time. We're supposed to stay on the sidewalk. It's Dana, where'd you go? I've lost you. So yeah, you can see cool St. John's in the background. We're here. We made it. Things are going great. We're going to have a fun night. Alrighty, so we are in St. John's, Newfoundland. This is our sort of day off, and we've chosen well. It's just misty, and what was it? 6 feels like 2. I don't know if it's quite that cool now, but it's cool. And we'd already said maybe we'll just park our motorbikes today, but we're thinking maybe we'll tool around. Once we saw the forecast, we were like, no, this is just a day to hang around St. John's. I'll show you some of the ships in the background there. So we're at the dock area. You see over here, they're loading stuff up. And yeah, we've just started to kind of hang around, see what's what. We had a great night last night. Booked through an Airbnb, off the beaten track, live music. Met a group of people that, of course, were strangers, all from Ontario. Odd. And we went to 4 different venues, saw 4 different musicians. By the end of the night, we were pretty darn good friends, and had a really great time. Thanks, Allison. Allison was the tour guide leader that set it all up. Good night. Took our time getting up this morning after that, but we're back at it. So we're gonna spend the day. Maybe we'll pop into you again from George Street, give you a glimpse of George Street. Thought we'd start by doing the harbor kind of view here that we have. So back at you soon. Hey, the day in St. John's continues. Still a little misty, a little yucky, but here we are on George Street. Had a little hair of the dog, feeling a little better.
Not me.
Not you. Had some lunch.
Not me, hair of the dog.
A little pizza, a little French fries, And the funny thing is, we kind of expected live music to be going on here in St. John's, but it doesn't seem to really start up until about 7 at night, which is still earlier than we often get live music. But Friday afternoon seems a little sleepy here on George Street, so we're thinking of doing something not crazy, but going on a hike to Signal Hill, which is about 3K away. Sort of an urban hike to see St. John's a little bit. So I think that's our next plan, as long as it's not too cold, too drizzly, or if we hear live music somewhere, that could just change everything. But for now, that's the plan. So, hey from George Street.
Hey.
All right, Susan and I are still on our little hike to Signal Hill. Won't surprise you to know we're not sure we're going the right direction. It's a theme of a sort. But we just kind of came across this cool quintessential Newfoundland and kind of want to show it to you a little bit. So I'm just going to fly around. So up the street that way, all these buildings. And this is the direction we're going in, up Signal Hill way, up there somewhere. I don't know what that looked like. But yeah, that's the quest we're on. So,
It's a little dizzy. Are you dizzy?
well, I'm a touch out of breath for sure.
Yeah.
As urban hikes go,
I mean, the height, it's...
yeah, as urban hikes go, I gotta say this little hike up to Signal Hill is very different from the hikes in, say, Grossmort, but it's very cool. All these little houses all built in, and I don't know, we've come up hills, we've come up stairs, and I think we still got a ways to go. So welcome to the roadway to heaven, Signal Hill. We discovered something interesting on the way. When we ride our motorcycles, occasionally there's these signs that come and tell us how fast we're going. Well, it turns out, you ready? It works for walking too. And it seems we walk between like 5 and 10 miles an hour on that, or kilometers.
Up to 12.
Kilometers. Did we get up to 12?
Yeah. Mind you, we've been doing that 12 for quite a while.
All right, so we've been trying to find Signal Hill, and we know it's a pretty obvious structure because it's so cloudy and so foggy. Yeah, so is St. John's. In fact, I don't know if you can hear. I'm going to stop for a second, shut up, and see if you can hear the flock. Alright, as you can tell from our background, this is another badass biker segment where we found a scruffy part of town. And really, but it's not about us this time. It's about a gentleman we met last night while we were out on our little music tour. There was a guy at a bar, and other people in our group started chatting with him, and he mentioned he was on motorcycles, and they said, oh, you got to talk to these two. So at any rate, we ended up chatting with him, and he's got a 250cc Honda, and he is doing things with that bike that's just crazy. I mean, he went, I showed you a little bit of video of what Port aux Basques looked like, and I remember saying it was like an alien landscape. He decided to take his bike out onto that alien landscape, got it completely bogged down. But like he said, with a 250cc, you can grab the back tire and just kind of pull it out, and that's, he's traveling on his own. He's traveling extremely light. He said last night was his first hotel room on his trip from New York.
He's from the States.
From New York, I think. And he showed us these pictures. He's got a drone with him where he's on the Cabot Trail, like literally in the middle of the forest. He's got a tent set up. And, you know,
he's really off-roading.
Yeah, so there's some people who take their motorcycle passion and their touring passion to limits that I don't think Susan and I will ever reach. But hey, well done. You know, really impressive. Yeah, what's a Harley cruising by? I don't know.
It's all black one.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yellow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So anyway, just the hats off to what you're doing. You're impressive, man, and it was really cool to meet and chat with you.
It was cool to meet you.
Later, bud. So we're back in our Airbnb, which has been fine. Has done the job for us for sure. It's close enough to downtown that we could walk down there, which we did a couple times. We didn't walk back up because literally it's up all hill all the way. We considered it, but yeah, we had a great time in St. John overall.
We did have a very good time. Saw some great music.
Met some fantastic people,
Mm-hmm.
and just really, we had the time today to really walk around the city, get to see it a little bit. We feel like we got to know St. John's a bit.
Walked up to Signal Hill.
Yep, did the crazy walk up to Signal Hill and saw some live music, and we saw a more traditional Irish group. You know, not really performers, but they were just hanging around a table playing songs, and it was kind of nice. It was more the way I think music normally happens in Newfoundland, and caught another little band on the way out that was kind of good. They were doing like Spirit of the West and Johnny Cash and I got friends in low places, stuff like that. Fiddle, all kinds of stuff. So just a great time, I think, overall in St. John's. But you know, where our heads are already sort of looking forward. I think tomorrow is the ferry ride back to Nova Scotia, and we really want to get positioned early because we're hoping we can land a cabin, and we think it's sort of a waiting list when you show up. We're not even sure that's true, but we want to get there as early as we can, have the best chance of hopefully landing a cabin, so we're not just sitting in seats for
17 hours.
Yeah. So that's sort of on our mind. So we decided to come back pretty early. I think we're home before 11. We're going to set an alarm so we can get up and get rolling early. We're doing another laundry and just kind of charging all of our devices and getting ready for that next stage. So kind of cool, kind of exciting. In fact, it's really the official launch. It's our third launch, but it's the official launch tomorrow when we go to
Cape Spear.
Actually, Sue's our plan's a little fancier than Cape Spear, but maybe we'll talk about that more in tomorrow's thing. I'll talk about it a little bit.
Well, after Cape Spear, we're thinking of stopping at Petty Harbor. It's a neat little village.
Yeah.
In Newfoundland. Apparently, it's where Ellen Doyle is from.
From Great Big Sea.
Great Big Sea.
And yep.
And from there we go to, well, they call it the Argentia Ferry, but it's in Placentia, Newfoundland.
Okay. So, you know, and again, we want to get there by 2 early, right?
We're just thinking 1.
1, yeah. So we're hoping to get there pretty early, 1 or 2, get front of the line. Last time they loaded people up pretty early, so you got on the ferry early, and hopefully we'll get on that waiting list early. So a little bit of fun, seeing some coastal stuff tomorrow, yeah, starting our way back westward, which is kind of cool. So we will check in with you tomorrow, but that's St. John's. We love you. It was great. We really appreciated it, and yeah, that's it.
We'll be back.
We will be back.